Good evening, free enterprise fans. Tonight we have a race between Sorbius and Mechalink. Tonight, our team consists of Xenocat, our resident harp music creator, as our restreamer, Scarcer as our tracker, my co-commentator, it's Beller. How's it going?
Oh, it is going great. Time zone appropriate greeting to everybody this evening, morning, depending on where you are. I'm excited for this one.
So we've got a forum start. How do you feel about that?
I like Porum. She's a functional character. She learns Berserk and Blink and Exit pretty early, so you don't have to get too much work into getting her up and running. Anytime I have a white mage, I'm pretty happy. So I'm very happy about always having access to a Porum.
Yeah, for me, it's like give me a white mage and a dream, and I'll be happy. So starting white mage, I'm happy. Don't have to worry about finding those cure threes or anything like that. But let's go ahead and take a look at our objectives here. So we've got the standard, forge and defeat Gauntlet, Golbez, and all that. But we've got Burn Mist Village, Super Cannon, and Tinktail. Depending on where those key items are, this could be a Moon's Haunted, nothing up there.
This really could be, and I'm always interested in the package check. If you're required to sit through that animation, it's very interesting seeing what gated character could be waiting for us. Maybe we get lucky, we get ourselves a Cecil, and we've got a shiny stick for him. Maybe it's a Foo, or maybe it's an Eddie. So I'm always very interested when the package shows up.
Yeah, the package, like it all depends on when that package comes up. If you get like starting package, and you have it with some runners, they'll see like an Edward or really like, that doesn't add any early game power. But I mean, you see like an Edge or a Foo, like that's an instant. Yes, I will go through this cutscene to get this character because that just expedites the early game. But we're off here. We get to see what our starting key item is and our partner character. Who do we hope for? Punch Mage.
Well, that's not very exciting.
Well, it's a functional character. Like he has a great health pool. That's about it. He can hit elemental weaknesses. But I mean,
there's the whole darkness thing too. Yeah, that might be a big one to talk about.
Yeah, I missed the starting darkness. Just some screen delay, but starting darkness. I think it's go directly and then raise the whale. Check the character up there. Like that's me. I want to know who that character is. Is that an early Foo? Is it a Cecil? Do I want to go more deals quickly? Maybe it's Palom. We can start doing twin early on. But we gotta sit there with the free King Queen. Not something you want to see early on.
And not something you want to see in that spot either. It's a very free spot, and we've got a very free boss sitting there.
Yeah, I don't know the second boss of the sword was going and doing the water down there in Baron. Oh, finds a Charm Claw.
I believe he found 2 Charm Claws, in fact, so that Yang is online.
Well, for speed, yes. That's about it, because those Charm Claws, terrible accuracy, gives 3 agility, and does not hit that many weaknesses. It only hits the giant weakness. So I know a few things about Charm Claws. There's our Cure 3s and some 10s here at Baron. And we have our, first thing of always selling off a bunch of extra run rings. Yeah, gonna be buying 10s. But Mechalink going in and then bracing the whale there. Definitely wants to know who the extra possible gated character is. We'll see if Sorbs decides to follow him. And, yep. Now, here's a question for you. Now, you go to the moon, and do you spy what's at cave value? Just off chance.
If I've had access to a gated shop that had coffins or hourglasses, um, yes, I walk down cave value on a wing and a prayer and hope that I have some way of cheesing something out. Um, it's not terribly far down, so it's not a big time investment if you just walk down and reset.
Yeah, unfortunately, like the free boss that would be great there. King Queen Eblan. I mean, you have other free ones like Hypo Guards or Baron Guards, but like of course you need an hourglass and you'd be able to survive the hits that come in. But our third character here that's gated is Palom. We've got Twin online.
We've got Twin online, yeah. I'm actually very happy to see a Palom. If I see Palom, I want it to be either very late and I can slingshot him, or very early and he'll just naturally get the levels he needs.
Yeah, like a lot of people, the bluff Twin is something that you can do. Now it comes with a whole bunch of the agility black magic, but a lot of the times it ends up using Porn's wisdom stat for the Twin magic. But you can manipulate your party into a way to where you can actually have Palom's wisdom stat being used for the Twin, so you can make that Twin cast very powerful.
I'm very interested to see where Mecha goes from here. They've not done any looting, so there's no real there's not a lot of power quite yet.
Like for the starting gear, we got a bunch of rune rings with both our mages can wear, plus Jan can wear it too. We've got some wizard gear all in our starting kit, so we have some gear for mages that's decently good for the early game. And we've got either ruby or elements up here. It's the elements. This is not nice here, because your Palom's not going to get as a lot of level 2 spells because of the reduced experience here.
Yeah, that is a shame to start a little extra slow, and Sid is also not the most exciting character you could have found. He does have a lot of versatility, so maybe we get lucky and pick up an interesting weapon for him, but probably not the character I would have been really excited to see there.
As it goes for characters like Sid's actually pretty useful early on. He's got some great versatility in weapons that he can use, and he also has a really good health pool. And for our team right now, we don't exactly have much health or much of a way of doing damage besides the long of Twin magic. And that's a free we've got Hourglass 3 on our inventory.
No, not quite bold enough. You would have to survive at least 2, possibly 3 punches, and at that spot, I don't know that that's a possibility for his party.
Well, so hear me out. If it's the Baron Guards, they're actually considered mages, so those rune rings
it is the Baron Guards. He can do those right now. Oh.
Yeah, the rune rings actually will give you defense against mages, so you can maybe dodge a few hits.
Okay, so yes, he can stop them. What is the damage source?
Yeah, we don't exactly have that. It's bluff Twin, If we had Runak Sid, it would be great. We had the Sid.
And on Mecha's side, he's again getting reduced XP for his twins. So they're just taking their sweet time.
Talk about gated character glory. We've just got a Sand Ruby from the Zant Lion, which vanilla,
and also I'm pretty happy to see some vanilla here. That's less than 10 minutes in, and Mecha's gonna have a full party.
Yeah, and then it's always like you like me. I want to figure out what my end game party is quite early, and for me, it's like I just want to have my party done, set in stone, and then maybe make changes later on. what I like to know what my party is right off the bat, so I can then plan for the gear I need to grab or sell extra gear out of my inventory and not get hit by the inventory boss.
Right. Or decide, oh, and a nice rune axe pickup, decide is ordeals the play for me. And it
Now,
looks like with just a cane, probably not.
no, but I mean, yeah, I mean, right now your options are either for bull or deals. I think you're probably gonna do Fabul first, just to hopefully get some more of the level 2 spells for Palom, because they're reduced XP. But I mean, like Josh mentioned, we do have the Sid. Sid could get us through ordeals. I know I saw Sorbs pick up some vampires, so we can get through ordeals.
I am a big fan of vampires. When in doubt, vamp them out.
I mean, it's really early game. It's really nice because it's a guaranteed damage, and even if you take a little bit of damage, you get to heal yourself back up. So it's great.
Yeah, they're a really great piece of tech.
And so Arm's doing a bit of a mean, checking the Carter administration chest and finds a coffin. So, yeah, halfway there to take it on the Baron Guards and Cave Value. Granted, it's not that much experience. It's Moonjack. It could be like, Magma Key, and we get underground a little bit faster. And, Mecca doing something spicy here, deciding to take a dive into Eblan here. Generally, people, when they have like a Cecil, King is a bit iffy for going in here to Eblan Castle. It has really good rates for getting the tier 8s, so your Crystal Sword, your X-Scal, or even, your Adamant Armor, if you get so lucky. But finds, the easiest of the fights for this team right now, dealing Gorax and other max. So just has to survive the hits.
And it looks like he is going to burn that hourglass. I really like this play.
Yeah, I mean, Ogres have about 1900 health. Get some life glitches. Maybe even have virus on Palom before doing ordeals. Makes it a little bit faster. And it's a spicy play. Just got to keep track of the amount of HP, and hopefully you can get it just right of getting the life glitch. But it's always hard to say. Do you know what the life glitch does?
I do happen to know what the life glitch does. So, because this game is all features and no bugs, the developers chose to have the enemies all have 0 vitality. And when you revive a character, there's a little bit of math that goes on in the background that says, okay, so multiply their vitality by a certain percentage, and that's how much HP they'll be revived with. Well, 0 times anything is 0, so when the enemies get revived, they just die immediately, and conveniently, you get double the experience by doing that.
Oh. Aw, we don't get to see what the Witch Burn is, because we just saw a wyvern sitting there at, I believe that was Mist Cave.
I believe that was, yeah. Nice to know that you don't have to bump into that. We also have a very, very shiny rock that really is enticing me to do ordeals right now.
Yeah, Crystal Sword. I mean, we haven't even found the Cecil yet. So... we find the Cecil. If we had the Cecil, yes, you're up ordeals instantly. But it looks like Mecca's decided, let's go here. We've got 3 options left, and 3 bosses, maybe a spike of D-Mist up here and get another key item. But you got to be able to have enough power for Porum to get through the Crystal Room fight. And that's going to be the tricky one in this situation.
Yeah, I see that she's got a power staff, so we're going to let Porum hit things. I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, I think Mecca has the power staff. Sorbs actually has a samurai bow. So maybe find some good arrows for her. And oh, curse string purchased. Pink hypo. Ooh. A lot of people tend to forget about that particular shop. So we'll see if Mecha finds one in his looting when he does do his looting. Great item to have, being able to manipulate your party. And
We've got a blue robe.
Ooh, is there a delay? Is there a delay? That's a delay. That's all gauntlet.
There we go. this is a great spot for this.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you get a bunch of experience out of your party. I mean, you're probably gonna end up getting Virus on Palom for sure at this point. Quake, EFB, but do a couple twin magics, get the Virus on Palom, and just let Palom get through this all gauntlet quickly. At this point.
Yeah, I don't know what J items we have on hand, but a Sid with high HP is really efficient at chucking some of those.
Yeah, I don't see many J items in our inventory, which is kind of unfortunate. And a few of these, like, more of the common ones that you find, like fire bombs. Not very useful for this particular fight, because they absorb fire. Ooh, okay, well, we found our D-Mist.
So 2 out of 3 boss hunts down.
Is it going to be a jet?
It could be. It could be. I guess it depends on what we get here.
Yeah, we get so many key items so early on and an objective. I mean, we don't need the darkness at all.
And it looks like we have a Gungnir on Sorbius' side too, so that cane is good to go.
Yeah, so we're gonna see what we get here from Pabul. I know some people like to single dip it with grabbing the pan, but no pan. It's just do it. It's early game experience, early game, and we're gonna get our underground access.
That's underground access.
Okay. Now the question comes to be, do you go underground now on Sorb side?
Yeah,
Check Demas, do you go underground? You've got your Fame Arch freebie, you've got your Sirens, you've got your possible Sirens, Coffins, Hourglasses all down there. You've got a decent team. You can do hybrid strats, you can do the 30 in a dream, so you grab 30 Sirens with 10 key items and do 30 eggs to get your whites and nukes and just go through the seed that way. So we'll see what ends up happening here. Hopefully Sorbs does not forget to turn in that D-Mist, because it looks like he's heading over to Ordeals right now. Checking the Choco Forest, and it's just a short sword. That's sadness.
I love a Choco Forest check.
Yeah, dude, great when it hits like a curse string or something like that. It's great. What's our back attack here?
Dolls.
Okay, I mean, a lot of the free bosses are coming out early.
They are, but with a party that's gonna start a little slow, I'm very happy with that. Give me the free stuff when I'm trying to get my twins online.
Yeah, I can see that. I can also see if I want experience before I go underground, because let's say there's no sirens in the underground. What's your power? You don't have really any options for Virus or Quake if you've got all these split EXP fights up here. That's where it comes to be a bit of a problem. And you don't get any experience in the Crystal Room unless there's only one fight that can be in the Crystal Room that actually gives you experience. Do you know what fight that is?
We have unfortunately seen it because it is the Gauntlet.
Yeah, Gauntlet's the only one that gives you experience in those non-experienced spots. And you get a health refill after every encounter as well.
Yeah, I learned that this tournament. I did not know that.
Yeah, they're
It came
actually
in
really
handy.
nice. Yeah, like it's been really nice that you actually get all your health back and all your MP. Because if you get stuck like with a Tela in the Crystal Changer with all Gauntlet, you don't get his spells. You have to deal with an unlimited MP. The developers have been really nice about that. So we'll get to see what's at the Crystal Changer room here. Porum taking Cecil's pot and going to be taking this room on by herself. As soon as we talk to the door. And so, I mean, when you take a look at the party numbers we have right now, are you decently happy with this party, or are you still, hoping for a little bit more?
I would like to replace the Sid eventually. Um, I would like to replace the Sid eventually, but I'm reasonably happy with this. Yeah.
I mean, the nice thing about that, great HP pool can use Cure 3s as a chemist. So, I mean, if you're sitting there doing your whites with the Cursed Porum, your Cure spells aren't going to be doing much. Unless you have the other stat boosting gear to help with that. But we just got a karate here at the change room for a light sword. Well, at least you still have a Cephal sword regardless when we find him.
And maybe Cecil will bring a friend who is also a Cecil, and then we have both.
And there, somebody asked in chat, why would we curse Porum? Well, I mean, with the fact that we have the Sea Hero flag on, Cecil's not really our anchor anymore. And even if he wasn't in our party, it's usually the center slot character that's your anchor. Porum is now the anchor constantly. Granted, her agility does not grow exponentially like some characters, but being able to have a very manageable Z fight or knowing your party order, cursing that form can be something to help you out.
I am a big fan of manipulating your anchor's agility. It can really be the difference between a manageable fight and a fight that is just a complete blocker.
Is there some fights that you really want the RA1 for to make things easier? And what we mean by RA1 is that if your other party member's agility is 2.5 times plus 1 of your anchor's agility, you're moving as fast as possible. So if somebody's got 10 agility, you need at least 26 agility to be RA1. I mean, it all depends on the strats you want to do for certain fights. You get your Plague, which is already out of the pool, and then it comes down to your Z fight, or your Odin fight if you want to do Thunderstruck, or in this case, it would be Canderstruck because we have Kane. Being able to know your party order to make your movements a little more, what's the word I'm looking for? Fluid. There we go. Yeah. What we get to see here is at the behind the King Queen for a boss. Let's hope for a Golbez. Let's make this a jet.
Let's get this. Oh, just an elf. Just an elf.
I mean, it's 3-ish fight. Second phase of this is where it gets a bit tricky, but we have Column, have Stop. It's free. Because yes, you can stop Dark Elf in a second phase. You can also use him too.
I really missed free bosses by the end of Potion Party. I was very happy to be able to come back to the point in time where you could just cast Stop here.
Oh yes, the free bosses. It's so nice. You don't have the mythical 4th wave anymore. But I mean,
Mecha saying, I'm just gonna hit him. Just gonna hit him repeatedly. Not a ton of HP. at that spot. Pretty good damage numbers. Just hold A.
and get just a lit bolt. That would have been great for the alt gauntlet, but what Mecha decided to? Oh, okay. It was something like he was deciding to trade out the Sid for a Sid, but no. So Mecha now knows that progression is through football at this point, and maybe or a hidden Demus. I don't think he's checked the Mist Cave or Waterfall, or even the spicy check of Zot 1. Because that's something that can trip people up too, is Demus at Zot 1.
It has happened. I have seen it. It is in fact possible.
Seize the life for an instant reset. That witch burn will remain a mystery to us. It could have been a retreat burn.
I do like to clear out that boss sometimes and grab that one cheeky chest that's right there. There's high loot value in that spot, so you might find something pretty useful back there.
Yeah, I mean, with the treasure flags we have on right now, T Wildish, T or max tier 5. So I mean, all the chests everywhere are going to be this max out at the same tier rating. But if it's like T Wildish or even like T Pro Mist Cave, it's a spicy spot to go for, because you get that one check there. It can be something really good, or like nothing. With max tier 5, it's hard to say.
Well, I think
jet somewhere else.
I think his cane currently has a hand axe, or he might have the rune axe, in which case Sid has the hand axe. So I on Mecha side, I am tempted to do some more looting.
Yeah, so maybe we got Palmavirus. Don't underestimate Virus on the Quack Hit early game. Super powerful. You can bluff once or twice and do 2.5 K damage. But being able to keep the Palm standing up and not taking a nap, that can be the trick. Well, Sorbius is just finishing up the overworld before following that magma key. We've got Mecha decided to do some shopping here in Fabul, and hopefully doesn't forget the D-Mist. And then we'll be heading underground.
That is a shop I'm very happy to see. We've got Mute Daggers, Poison Axe. That's perfect. That's exactly what this party wanted.
A Mute Dagger for sure. Always pick up a Mute Dagger. So useful, especially with, possibility that edge. It also gives wisdom for Palom. So, I mean, so useful there. Definitely always want to pick one of those up. And even Kane can use it too. We still got some boss fights out there that can still do some pretty good stuff there. But we do have the Ruin Axe, at least on
We do, yeah.
So we're not too worried about that.
Well, you give Kane the Mute Dagger and Sid the Rune Axe, and then you're doubly covered.
Yeah, but you can use Kane with the Rune Axe and just jump. That'd be fun.
So I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Our runners are all but required to go underground at this point. On Sorbius' side, you've got more levels, you've got more power, and there is a free boss at a required spot. How quickly do you go back to the moon if you find hourglasses in the underground shops?
Well, or is he deciding to go do it now and go do that free boss on the moon?
I think that's the plan.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing that. It's like me, I'd be going underground. I'd be, checking my freebie, checking for, some sirens, something like that. Getting my Palom at least up to the drain spell, if not warp itself. and go in and do dwarf. Get the possibility of 2 key items, 2 more bosses out of the way.
Oh,
I
you
can
might be
figure
doing
out-
hair dryers.
I mean, this is a play of hopefully getting an adamant armor while getting a lot of experience. It's about the same amount as I believe it's an egg, if not a little bit more. So this is just gonna be a bunch of experience. Whether or not he decides to continue to play on the moon or go underground, that's something. I mean, if you life glitch, you could probably get some of the egg, because an egg's what's the egg? 33, 36,000?
34, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
The double egg is 68.
I'm not gonna decide and go straight to dwarf. Probably gonna be doing some shopping. Oh, straight to the item shop. And nope. Sofa, which is good.
Illusions are good to see too. Those could really come in handy. I mean, I know we have a blink caster, but being able to preserve some turn efficiency if you have illusions on hand is nice.
And ooh, some cat claws. Do we keep? No. Picking up cat claws. Ooh.
Well,
Picking up the heroin robe.
Yeah, I love a heroin robe.
Yeah, you sell enough to be able to buy that heroin robe. That's what I like to call the heroin robe. Adamant light.
It really is. You know, I don't think I had used heroin robes too much until Potion Party, to be honest, and ever since I just love seeing those. They're great to find early. They're great to find late. They really work out for you.
I mean, great defense on them. You've got great stats for doing physical with your Rosa, your Forma, and your Rydia. Definitely early game. Really nice. Mid game, still pretty nice. Got to be able to counteract the negative wisdom or will stats if you're trying to do magic with that character. I don't think we saw a sprite here, so I believe this is going to be an antlion here.
Not a good spot for antlion, but we've got virus, we've got power punch, we've got jump.
Yeah, we've got options. And it looks like Sorbius is getting some life glitches off on these. Don't believe Mecha is anywhere near level 29 for this Palom, which is when Palom actually learns Warp. Probably 20 at this point. Sorb just got trained, so he's like 1 or 2 levels away. 1 level away.
So yeah, I think this is just to play at the 1 key item. I believe he has to be level 26 going in, or is it 27, in order to be able to get enough levels.
Yeah, it's tricky because it all depends whether or not you have another split boss. Like Golbez could be a spot 2 that would reduce the amount of experience you get in the second fight. D-Lunars. There's still other bosses out there that can still reduce the amount of experience you get. So it can be pretty mean. But this antlion, not taking any prisoners and just you use your power punches and your jumps out, but these antlions like, nope, I'm gonna do counters on everybody you want them. But this is a few times, which is nice.
That is a spicy check on Sorbius' side, and he finds a longsword in the bushes in Eggert.
Yeah, that's a chest that nobody ever checks.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen somebody check that before.
I mean, it's one of those. If Sorbs wants that to be his particular chest, cool. We'll call that the Sorbs chest. Because I don't think I've seen anybody else loot it before. I mean, the longsword's great, but no edge. Yeah, as Chat's mentioned, if we find a Tella, Rydia, or even a Fu here, we do have an option for warp from that particular character. If we can keep our Rydia standing up,
which is going to be hard. Well, actually, no. This spot. Ooh, well.
Hashtag never punished. We gotta tell him. And
You love to
goodbye,
see
y'all.
it. You love to see it.
Yeah, never punished. But this wall is not very nice because Mecha went in, I believe. Because here's the thing with Dwarf is you want to be anchored for the second fight, not the first fight.
We're good. We're good. They have the blink up. Wake is queued. We're golden.
Oh, that's you all
Or possibly golden. Possibly golden.
Yeah, Evil Wall cheats, so it looks like there's a bit of a dropped input on Mecha's side, so it's going to try and cast Blinking on that Tela, but Quake comes out, Evil Wall down. I bet that's just a relief on Mecha's side. And Sorb's going, I don't need no shopping, I'm going directly to the boss. I'm going to get Warp on my Palom through these two fights, and hopefully you just keep doing Luca. Okay, second best severed hands. The color of the hand changes with the boss that's there. My personal favorite is when Demus is there, you have the ghost hand.
The ghost hand is great, and well, that's an objective.
That's its one heart. So we'll see what Sealed Cave gives us here. Is it gonna be double required? Well, not so much double required dwarf because we would still logically need the Luca key to get this.
Well,
Nice item. I mean, it makes it to where darkness isn't required.
so what is open right now? We have music, and we have cave value.
Well, so we've got music, Sheila 1, we've got top of tower, and we've got the 3 down in Famar. So we've still got some stuff
Yeah.
early on that we can do. And looks like Mecha's
And the whole moon, yeah.
Yeah, and of course the whole moon. But we're trying to not say that the moon's required. Like, we're trying to say the moon's haunted, okay? Just hide the darkness. We don't need it. We're not using the Tela to do anything with the darkness. No. The moon is scary. And we get, well, there's a
Just Luca. Just a Luca.
But now it comes down to what's down here at the Fey March. Is it a scary Fey March or is it a free march?
We have seen a lot of free stuff already.
Yeah,
we have seen a lot of free stuff.
There's still some free fights out there. You still have Waterhag, we still have Dimps. So there's still at least 2 out there.
Dimps is pretty scary at Leviathan specifically with the levels we have on this party.
Well, I mean, and Mecha side, we still have the Hourglass 3 that we could use. We have a Curse String, I believe, so we can, manipulate our party well enough to be able to get the Hourglass off. But that's not a free march, but a themed march.
Yeah,
we've
definitely.
got Ruby on the left, and we've got a Mylon of some sorts on the right.
Not super exciting there.
Yeah, I mean that Ruby is really mean at that spot.
Oh, you could actually, yeah. You can take this chest.
Yeah, you can. Just got to be able to. Okay, there was a save beforehand. Like, I was a little scared. Like, was there a save beforehand or not? And just like, okay, gonna do some healing beforehand this time. Okay. And just use all of Tela's MP and maybe a little bit of Porums here. Yeah. The Centipede is one of the freer ones to do. Bit of an interesting check to do trap chest in the Silk this early.
He might have
mean-
just been fishing for untrapped chests, and then you happen to find the one that's manageable is a lucky get.
Yeah, I mean the others, the spirit ones are pretty manageable too, as long as you're able to get a mute off early. Yeah, the Quake does like no damage, so we're fine there. I've never seen them cast Quake before.
Yeah, that's news to me too.
I mean, I knew they do it. It's just not something you see very often.
Oh, just another crystal sword. Ho hum.
Okay, so now we found 2 crystal swords early on. We know that Cecil's on the giant. But let's just put it that way. We're never gonna find the Cecil, and that's fine. Yeah, as Janet mentioned, now the Ruby Leviathan, the punches that Ruby does hits hard. Glare is still glare.
Yeah. Not much heat from fire at that spot.
Yeah, it's still manageable. We still have the Yang, and we had an Ice Claw, and we've got Kane with like an Ice Brand. I'd think about doing it because we can just blink and do the jumping and power punches to reduce the counters from Ruby, but still a lot of HP to get through. That's on the hook up behind Vanilla Ogo. I mean, with the party we have right now, Ogo's not too scary there. Just needs some levels. But by the time you get the levels to fight at the Ogo, you're not grabbing the Cecil. And what do we have here at the Tamura's got nothing. So we've got Coffins in the Fey March, and we've got two tier 5s sitting on the hook route. So we've got mechas we want to do Twin Harp after doing Sheila 1. So we're going to be 1 HP on everybody.
So these shops have been pretty terrible so far. We've got Coffins in terms of dealing with free bosses, and that's it. So either hook route has all of the goodies, or our runners are going to have to make some interesting choices on how to gain levels and how to manage some of these tougher fights.
Yeah, the thing about the levels is like the levels is a choice that you could make. You can either persevere through with the party and the levels you have right now, or you can go bite the bullet, so to speak, and just do everybody's favorite thing of a D machine grind. Get all the levels in one fight and just start going that way. Because we do have the sell-off. So that's an option.
With Mecha checking music, I believe it is time for us to contractually be quiet and enjoy the stylings of DJ Swoony B.
Yes, it is time to be quiet. Hopefully enjoy it.
Well, we've got an objective. So Mecha going to burn that package, see who's hiding. Just Iridia.
Hmm. 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 This. This gets even spicier right now.
How have we found ethers of any kind?
No, we haven't. We could. Yes, we have the E can't run flag on, so setting up the D machine is a little more trickier. It can still be doable. There are charts out there for doing a step chart in Baron, right in front of Baron. So we could slingshot this Rydia to nuke very quickly and have 2 nukes whites. Definitely a solid mage party. But I know some people's propensity to doing D machine. Nobody likes doing it.
It is not fun with the party and levels that we have right now, no.
Well, I mean, the thing with doing a machine is like it's predictable damage. It's always it's either 20-25% of your health. Every flame that they do is going to be that. You can curse your Porum to make sure that you get a correct turn order every single time. That makes it very, very quickly to do. You could try to be a little bit extra spicier and doing Ice 2 on the D machine and get 2 life glitches per dragon. I could not even bother to check the boss. I'm going to look and see if sirens are here. I'm going to show that it's not. We have a Leviathan here. And 30 life potions. We'll have to see, but it's time to be quiet again while we wait for music. Sort of decided not to jump with the cane and just circles him up and lets him swing with that Runex. Mecha going back under. Nope, never mind. Going to the moon,
I think we're going to the moon.
or doing spicy check of checking what's at the nope, going to the moon. Never mind. We got 2 bosses of the giant. Golbez could be there. So right now we're looking for either 2 parts of Forge, Pigtail, Golbez, or a Tower Key. And looks like Mecha's going to be going to... Oh! Check their guard chest. Don't remember what Sorbs got from this. I don't think it was anything too grand.
I believe it was Arty arrows.
RDOs are pretty good. Yeah, I wonder if I'm curious what Sorbius is going to do here with the Rydia. Like, you've got 2 nukes, a white. You've got, you know, either you can have Sid or Kane be your Starbell caster. You've got a Flex Strat party, so he may decide to go do the D Machine. And definitely, you know, it's a boss bot that nobody likes to check here at package because it's such a long check to get. And if it's the Golbez here, like, both these runners have been quite equal, like both neck and neck in this race. You know, sometimes, you know, one pulls ahead of the other, but they're both quite even. I think the biggest difference, you know, Sorbs did a little bit of earlier looting where Mecha hasn't. Both quite equal right now.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest differences was that Sorbius prioritized getting enough levels that his Palom would naturally get warp before the end of the Dwarf 2 fight. So he was not required to take that Tela the way that Mechalink did. So I like Sorbius's party a little bit more, if not for doing the D-Money specifically, but it's just a little bit more functional than what Mecha has.
Sorbs making the play, checking the package character here, or checking the package character, the boss here, and we'll see if he's rewarded. Will he take the Rydia and just do the D Machine grind and then check the elements fight, or, you know, go back up to the moon and figure it out from there? Well, that's just a sparkle.
Just a sparkle. I'm happy I don't have to deal with D-Lunars anywhere.
Yeah, that's nice. So, I mean, it leaves Ogo Pogo and Le Doot somewhere out there. Back in like a spicy check and check in the vanilla red giant chest. You trying to spike a trap chest here on the moon besides the hairdryer's chest?
Might be looking for some more XP more than anything else.
Yeah, but you have to be a bit scary here because you have, well, that fight is one of them. Hit pretty hard. You've also got like the Bimmy and Jimmy chest, which is the red dragon, blue dragon. So, I mean, this is get your blinks up, because otherwise every attack that you do on this is going to hurt a lot.
Yeah, we were a little fast with that Berserk.
Yeah. It's an idea to if you don't exactly have great defense for this fight, it's kind of nice to one, make sure that your anchor is not cursed. You want to be fast because the behemoths are super slow, but you want to get your blinks up before you start doing any physical to the behemoth. Therefore, you can, you know, keep them up, still do the damage output, but definitely have a way to keep your blinks up with your Tela, who's slow, and your Forum, who doesn't get many actions because, well, she's the anchor. Mecha going in for round 2.
Yeah, I mean, this is a fight that he can take with multiple blink casters. It's really not going to be fast, but it's going to be a lot of experience.
Sorbs decided to take the Rydia, but not go back for the Tela. So it's just going to hope to get the million experience on Rydia before going. We'll see what the choice is here. I mean, we're doing game value. This is a free fight. Yeah, as we see here, the blinks are coming out now, and then once everybody's blinked up, it's going to be a Zerk on the King, and you just wait on a blink caster's turn to re-up any blink that you need to. A lot of experience here. We don't have 10 key items, so it's going to be half. And it could be a play at an adamant armor, doing some of these trap chests. Well, that just reduced the amount of damage that these guards are gonna do.
That's a very free fight now.
Oh yeah, and he's confident. Once you total size, they only do like 1 damage, but then they also take extra physical damage. So that's kind of nice. And then gonna get some life glitches out here. I mean, there's not terrible, there's not a huge amount of experience here, but it's gonna be at least nice for the Rydia to at least have enough Leviathan cast for doing this move. There's our level 3s on Column, and Rydia's level 30 now. So I'm gonna have like 3 or 4 casts of Leviathan, which is really nice to have a nice AoE like Leviathan.
Yeah, you've got Leviathan, you've got Quake with Palom. You're pretty good on at least magic-based damage output. And I think that Kane has a White Spear as well, so it's plenty of power.
Yeah. And this refight of the Behemoth, much more manageable on Mecha side as the Blinks were out first. And there it goes. Almost 60,000 experience. And a really nice item. We'll see what we get here.
Ironically, a nice item for the fight that we just finished.
Yeah, usually that's how it goes. Like a glass hat would have been great before that fight. Ooh, I'm going, do I try and take this fight out without saving, or no, just like, not gonna take the chance.
Safety first.
Yeah, like you just got a bunch of experience and a decent item. Yeah, go back, save. Gives it maybe a fight that you don't want to do, or it's gonna hurt real bad.
What's our camping gear situation, by the way? I think we have the starting tents and no ethers and a mage party, I think is the situation we're in.
Yeah, I know I did see tents for sale in one of the shops we looked at on one of our runners. I think Sorbs did pick up some tents, possibly. Yeah, definitely camping gear is going to be a bit of a bottleneck for this party right now.
It's our plan. 1 check, exit out, rest on the big whale. 1 check, exit out, rest on the big whale.
Oh, that hurts to see, and it hurts to run it that way too. Like I've had to do that. Like if I've got no camping gear, I'm bottom of the moon, figure out what I can do, and go from there. But we've got the sisters here at the Marsami altar, and this will be pretty free. We have, Rune Act, we've got AoEs. Is this going to be a sister grind?
They're gonna hit pretty hard, and the outside of that Yang, the HP totals are not super high.
No, but enough. We do have the rune rings to at least reduce the damage that Cindy's going to be doing to us. It's majorly the issue of surviving Mindy. That's going to be the tricky one. And there goes down Mindy. So long as we can take down Cindy beforehand, we'll be fine.
We've got a Quake queued. That Leviathan is gonna be a while, but I think we can get off of Leviathan before the revive happens.
And even now, it's every single time you knock down a sister, you get more experience. We do have Kane zorked up with the Rune Axe, so gonna be taking care of this Mega Sisters quite quickly. That's a 5k hit comes out from Kane. Goodbye. Well, let's see what we get for an item. If we get the Pinktail, do we just immediately go back to Earth and clear out the Feymarch? Oh, never mind.
Well, I mean, better than what Porum was wearing.
Definitely. It's our best in slot,
And honestly, you've checked everything but Hook that you don't have access to, and there are no sirens. So your options for levels are either, and another free check here. I believe this is Ribbon Room too. So here's your levels sorted out.
Definitely. No hourglasses, so it kind of hurts, but we have definitely. You know, something you could actually do here, and this would be a bit spicy for Mecha to do. You could do something like Toad or Size, and
Do a
then
life 2 grind?
do Life 2 grinding here.
I'm here
This
for
is
it.
like the perfect spot to do it. And as long as you can make the damage you're taking to be like 1 or 2, perfectly fine to do it. But getting the life glitches off, gonna be a nice chunk of change here for experience. If we can, we gotta make a choice here. Who do we give the experience to? Do we give it to Sid or do we give it to Tello? Like
We're gonna go for Palom. I mean, you know, our hero is also going to get it, which is great. Oh, it looks like, oh no, we're getting greedy. We're getting greedy on Mecha side.
Yeah, trying to get as much experience as possible, and
No, just throw that coffin.
it's gonna be a bit dicey here, and nope. Ooh.
Well, you can deal with this. You know, throw out like a mini, a toad. You've got options here.
Bells I never really used growing up playing this game. I have used more in free enterprise than ever. Size, mini, toad, or size, mini, the same thing. But all those spells, I never used them before, and now they're like so useful.
I think that really is like one of my favorite aspects of playing Freehand over the years is how much I really learned about this game that and Mecha unfortunately loses 2 coffins to the character who had the action cue dying.
That hurts. And we go in for a third time. Like it's basically your grind at this point for a lot of your levels, and you're just hoping that you can not get RNG board faced, as we like to call it. We like to call this board face AI taking effect here of who's queued up to use something is going to get bopped, because to make the game harder, why not, right?
I mean, it knows. Boardface knows.
Oh yeah.
And this time I think Mecha is through. He's got his... Oh, no, we're still being greedy.
Yeah, want to get the cane to have experience. Just... Oh, okay, we're getting...
Alright, we should be good.
Yeah, it's a matter of not if...
No, we are not good. We are not good.
Oh no!
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, we're going for a weak cast? Ooh. Oh no, there goes Pal. Oh no!
Oh. Poor Mecha. Oh. Well,
Okay,
he's through it.
Throw it with just the king getting the experience. Oh. And Porum, of course, because Porum always gets the experience regardless.
Well, we've got
Party
Pan
Rock.
on Sorbius' side and a Party Rock that I am immediately chasing if I am Mecha.
Yeah, on Mecha side we got the Crystal Sword. Yeah,
I think that's that's 3 crystal swords now. So can our duplicate Cecil also bring another duplicate Cecil possibly?
Can we have another duplicate? We just saw a dupe sit already.
Oh yeah, you're right. So okay, so hopefully one of those 2 characters.
Yeah, on Mecha side we're hoping for exactly a Cecil up there. Sorbius here instantly going, I'm gonna do Toad with Palom, and hopefully Palom survives. And then it comes down to just taking out the Dims. Toad comes out, does a hit. It hits. Fight is now completely free. And get all the experience you ever wanted. Yeah. Do we rate the treasure at this point? I don't think so.
I don't think so. I mean, you've got Artie Samibo for Sid, Runax, White Spear for your Kane. You're pretty good.
Yeah. Ooh,
We're checking up, Jog.
Yeah, we're at least the first two chests. I don't go any more diving than the first two chests for Flame Dog. The first two chests are just quick, easy, along the way, not that far out of the way. And I don't bother checking the Trident. I was trying to plan out here, doesn't have any more coffins to coffin these gems, so trying to play it safe here of being able to get the life glitches off and just trying to be very, very careful. Oh,
we missed one.
Bigan here in Zot 1, so not gonna be a problem here. He's arced up with Kane, letting him swing automatically, you know, the Quake coming out. So, I mean, just a matter of getting through this fight. Never did check the Masamune altar.
No, we did not peek that. We also haven't seen the Crystal Sword altar.
Yeah, we still have a Water Hag out there, which is a free fight, so... Yeah, Sorbius is going to be happy with all of this experience here. He has at least one life glitch off. I don't think anybody's in range for a slingshot. So, I mean, still 100,000 experience, 130 is still really good for this party. 4 is around, like it's 4 levels. Not everybody. Yeah. I think Sorbs with the amount of power that he has, I think it's you check Masa Altar, you check Crystal Sword. I don't think he's gonna chase this Earth Crystal.
Well, Mecha's party just got a lot better.
Oh yeah, Foob, we probably have killed enough bosses for a full powered Foob, so yeah, Mecha's actually really happy about this full powered Foob. Instant nuke, decent Cure 4. Yeah, goodbye Tella.
Yeah.
You have an upgrade.
And Cecil. Okay, so
goodbye Gone.
Much better.
Yeah, Mecha is extremely happy about this.
Oh, and Vanilla Ogo. No, just reset. Just reset. I don't want to say there's no chance of him doing this, but no.
Yeah, this could be, I mean, Ogo does have one weakness. He has one weakness, and that is Berserk.
Yeah. But zerking a Kane and it's a Kane and a Sid with not great strength boosting gear, and that spot is going to punch hard, and I don't know that his Porum is going to be able to keep up the healing. It's going to be very tight.
Yeah. Just an Octomom here at the top of Zot here. Not going to take too long to get through this. And we've got, Swords picked up some illusions from a shop. So definitely going to get some free blinks up here to at least prevent against the pops that Ogopogo will do. And there goes Octomom on Mecha side. We'll see what we get for a key item here. Got the Cecil as a definite upgrade from Crystal Sword. Ready to go.
And there is Poo's officially all at full power.
Yep. Had all the spells beforehand, but now he's got the full 1900 HP. Yeah, Sorb's looking, does he have Azura or not? And no Azura.
No Asura and no Sylph either.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm thinking this. It's going to be, get some berserks up, get a Starveil up, and start reflecting viruses, at least. And we got a Baron key, so that's actually really nice to get. After doing Zod, you're right here, ready to go, ready to turn that in.
I'm happy to see those ninja hats too. That's a great pickup.
Yeah, ninja hats are great.
Yeah, you've got a very powerful mage whose one weakness is he's quite slow. So I love anything that will boost his agility a little bit.
And we saw we had I believe it was a Val at Baron 1. But we've got Kane, so we're fine.
We've got Kane, we've got Crystal Sword Cecil.
Yeah. So, Sorbius is, we got a single wave or a double? Ow. Get those illusions up. Okay, we got the Cure 3s coming out here.
This really is a spicy check. And this is a really, really gutsy check too. I really like this. Now the other question I have is, how long is this Starveil going to last? Because we're having to pause to pop illusions and pop Cure 3s.
So every single time we went to pop a Cure 3 or pop an illusion, or pop a Cure 3 on somebody, we're actually able to see if the wall's still up or not. Because we're popping the Cure 3s, we can still see that there's a wall up on Palom. So it's just a matter if Rydia's base 3 here, okay. So now we're gonna start getting the other party members up, get some health on them, and hopefully get the experience on these other 2 party members. Sorbius is handling this Ogopogo very, very well.
Yeah, this is a really well done fight on Sorbius' side.
Yeah, I think the Starveil's just about to run out on Palom. Yeah, it's as you can see, when you use a Cure 3, there's no longer a wall up on Palom.
Well, we're going to have a little bit more information about the Fey March because we have the other purple robe on the Baron throne here.
Oh, so we have well, that Feymarch has a Mylon Z, which with the Cecil is super free.
Cecil, Crystal Sword, Mylon Z. We've also got the White Spear on on Kane, so yeah, that's a very manageable fight.
Mm-hmm. Alright, we're getting into the close fight here. We have the All My Body on Mecha side and another character check.
We're at 1 HP.
1 HP in a dream, and it's an edge, so... Wow, this Mecha's entire party completely changed from mages into physical fighters.
Yeah, and do you remember when I was talking about how there's no sirens? What are we going to do for levels? Anyway, there's Edge.
Yeah, we have Form for Cry, and we have an Edge. Yeah, we've got sirens now.
And with this party, with the gear that we've got, it's not like you need a ton of levels.
No, you get Cecil to like 23, 2400 HP, and you're good to go. Sorbius getting through that Ogopodo, putting on a clinic, very well done, and gets rewarded with a spoon.
Just a spoon.
Feels great. I mean, hey, another key item, right? Gets us up to 9.
Well, I mean, there's an edge. Sorbius doesn't know that, but there's an edge. So, yeah. I mean, spoon's good.
Yeah, I mean, It's at least a key item that we know we don't need. We know one more spot that might have value is going to be somewhere on the Earth. We got just a Crystal Sword altar here left. We get to see who's here.
This has been a really bold play by Sorbius, and he is executing this moon dive very, very well. I'm interested to see if this pays off for him, because unfortunately the levels that he's getting are a little bit negated by the fact that Mecha has an entirely different and I would say probably more well-positioned party at this point.
Yeah, we've got a free basement down here. And I think to see the difference between a full mage party and a Zerker party, Z can go very quickly for reflect tracks. It can also go very quickly for a Zerk party if you have enough power. We've got an Odin here at Crystal Sword Altar. Free, and more free. We know that Golbez isn't down here at the bottom of the Baron. So we've only got the only spots we haven't been able to see yet are Tower Key, Luca, and the two giant spots.
And there's Hook.
And there's the Hook, so we now are able to see the King Queen spot. And see if our sirens are there. All the doors are closing in. I mean, I think in this particular aspect, I think Mecha has pulled slightly ahead, finding the Hook. And having the Cecil with the Crystal Sword, but it all comes down to there could be a chain. Like, what I think the Sorbius is out here is that like Rat Tail's here and Rat Tail leads the Tower Key, and Tower Key has Golbez. Because I don't think Mecha goes back to the moon anytime soon. Well, that's an objective. That's nice, but we don't have a Hook on Sorbius' side.
No, and he is quite far from finding that Hook.
Yeah, because it's going to have to do a Zot into Baron. And you've got the Fame Arch, which you left. You've got the top of the tower. You've got the Lucas spot.
You've got a very spicy giant check.
Ooh. And also we have the pan on Sorbius' side of the chase. So there's just a long list of items that Sorbius has to do. But we do have the pan as well, which is another 2 key items. So, I mean, there's still an option for finding, both pieces of Forge or finding Tower Key in the Forge. There's still quite a bit of options out there for things that Mecha hasn't done yet. So I think it's still pretty well up in the air right now on who's ahead right now. And there's the free grinding in Eblan, Hourglass 2s, and Sirens. Sorbius immediately going to, I got the pan from the moon, it's free checks, do your objectives, do your freebies. That's what we always say, right? In the history of this tournament, it's been do your objectives, you will find another one soon after. Like, for example, the Twin Harp, it gave us the package. Do your objectives.
I am a big believer in prioritizing your objectives. Now, I have a question for you. If you are in Mecha's position, you're doing Zerker strats, do you go in at any point and steal some Bacchus wine, or do you just say, I'm just going to hold A and go for it?
At this point, I think I'm just going to hold A, because the 2 spots that you can get Bacchus from are the Mad Ogres, which we've got the Mad Ogres down at the second half of the Hook route, or in Cave Magnus. We're now going back into Cave Magnus to steal from there, and going down all the way down to the King Queen spot to find the 4 Mad Ogre chests to steal Bacchus.
With the base level edge.
Yeah, I don't think that's the best option. And we've got Boom, we've got Forum for Zerk. I'm happy with 2 Zerk Gasters. Like if I find one Bacchus in a chest, I'm happy. Or if I find an Avenger, I'm happy.
Oh, and that pan had adamant.
Okay. So now it comes down to where the legend sword is, or where the tower key is.
We'll
Because
see.
this race has gotten even spicier. Like we've got the hook that Mecha was able to find from doing Zot into Baron, but we've got Pinktail on the moon and Pan leading to another half of Forge on the moon. So who knows whose race this is? Sorb's going directly to Zot. Has a crystal sword in hand. So probably will take the Cecil at this point.
And I believe the pan bonk was a Masamune.
Yeah.
So if he chains Earth into Baron, he's going to have very good gear on those characters.
Yeah. And in any way we look at it, Mecha has to go back to the moon at some point. There's two objective key items on the moon. The adamant from the pan and the Pinktail from Crystal Sword Altar. Yeah, as Chaz mentioned, Donut doesn't have too many rabbit holes. The only rabbit hole that we have would be the rat tail, which is a quick turn in anyways. There's something you don't see too often. Edge darting a ninja star.
I do love a good ninja star. I think on Mecha side, Edge has a full moon and a mute dagger. So that ninja star is pretty legit.
I mean, Mute Dagger isn't that bad of a weapon. It's about the same attack power as a long sword. Has a little bit less accuracy. There's the Legend Sword.
There's the legend sword.
Yeah, that comes a choice of like, okay, do I do this Ruby right now? Could this be my adamant right here, right now, and I could be one more objective closer to go mode? Yeah, everything being everywhere in this seed. There is no like linear path, so to speak, to go mode. It is just everywhere. A good actual, as much as vanilla as there was in this, it's been a good randomization. Like, I'm gonna try for a back attack on you, Ruby. And ooh, the glare taking out the Fu. Good night, Fu. Yeah, we've got jumps coming out here.
Probably have some jumps, probably have some nukes. Cecil providing the healing.
Also just having a cover Cecil. I think we've got the glass out on Cecil, so really good spot. Back row Cecil covering is great. So he set the cover to set Florin to be covered. Now anybody that's in critical HP will be covered automatically.
And Sorbius says no thank you to Cecil and Crystal Sword.
Yeah, deciding to go with the mage party. I mean, almost has Nuke on Palom. And I mean, Rydia will probably follow along shortly. So I mean, but it's still anybody's race at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that has been done on each runner's side that the other is going to have to turn around and do. So yeah, there's really not somebody who's like clearly ahead. They just happen to be following two different paths that seem pretty likely to meet in the middle.
And Sorbs tries. So what Sorbs was trying to do there, he used a kamikaze with Fu. What he was trying to do is he was trying to crumble Skip. If you end up taking out the last HP of an enemy in a crumble spot with a kamikaze, It just does the purple crumble versus the long crumble. But unfortunately, the Quake did a little too much damage and had to go through the full crumble itself. Like you're low on MP, going for an Ice 3, I believe.
And
Hopefully
I think this is going to be. Oh nope, just in time.
Woohoo! Yeah, you gotta be lucky with that because once that robe closes, it's a heal to Ruby at that point. Now I think I think at this point like you just go straight to Baron. You've got the Baron key. Whether or not you'd be spicy to check Baron basement before doing Baron throne, that's an option. But I don't know on Sorb side right now whether or not that's something that you do. You can walk out, but you have that unknown boss at Baron Throne at the actual Kinazo spot. I think you're still full clearing Baron regardless. It's just, do you do Baron Throne before you do the actual Baron itself? But and we have the tower key.
Tower key.
Hey, March, hard required in this seed. So yeah, it comes down to when does Sorbs do March?
I mean, that's kind of so it's either from here, it's either Feymarch or Keyless Tower, which we know is not the play.
Because we know that we don't know where Golbez is. We know that. Oh, we don't even know if Golbez is at top of tower or not. We never checked the top of tower.
So I believe, will Sorbius be in go mode if he goes directly from here, does basement, does he even need to, yes, he needs to do basement. But if he goes from here, full clears Baron, and then heads straight to Feymarch, I believe that is go mode, is that correct?
Yes. Because we have to do 6 or 7, and with 2 objectives being down in the Feymarch, Legend Sword gives him go mode, and Tower Key gives him go mode. But he still has to get the hook from Baron Basement. And there's a DKC. And Sorbs is doing Baron proper first. I'll walk back in to do, Baron Basement. And even though this spot doesn't have that much attack, DKC's Dark Wave takes out quite a bit of Mecha's party, but still has some people standing to get through the fight. May actually have the perfect number of party members if there is a Golbez here at the top of tower, which we have not seen yet.
So if you're Mecha, do you check top of tower or do you
you check
Terminator?
You check the top of tower. Like at this point, you're still looking for a boss. You've got 3 objectives to do, and even if you do end up finding the other half of Forge here from finishing tower, you still need 1 more. So I think you definitely check the top of tower before leaving. 100%.
Yeah, and he's also got 10 key items and a stack of sirens that he can hold A, and Crystal Sword will make the difference.
So that's a Sparkle. That is going to be our Pale Dam.
Oh, we know where Golbez is.
Oh,
We know where Golbez is.
Golbez is on the hook route. Okay. So Baron Basement's hard is a possibility of, well, technically hard required because it has hook. Need hook for Pinktail. Sorbs decides to take the edge, ditches the yawn. Probably to dart the spoon. But okay, well, Mecha knows where Golbez is, but still has another objective out there. I think is hoping to either get Pinktail or adamant from this tower key or top of tower here. Unfortunately, we know here in the booth and chat knows neither of those is going to happen.
No, he is going to have to make it back to the moon in short order, but I mean that's the only thing that's open to him at this point.
The only things that really remove him from doing that are the rat tail, which is not that long of a check. Or if he decides to go check, there's no point of checking Luca because we've already found Demas and other boss checks. Like, don't have to walk down the Luca key.
Yeah, no value in that sneaky Luca check. Not doing a door grind.
Yeah, doors are always an option, even if you don't have sirens. I mean, I know you. It's been 24 hours, even though I know you did do that. It's always a great option for a grind. I've done that myself.
No, but we've got sirens. Mecha knows that from here it's really just the moon. So get the levels and let the gear that you've got on those characters kind of take over the seed.
Yeah. So Sorbius is going to have an adamant armor. Question comes to be, there's an option on Sorbius' side where he goes and at least checks the. I don't think there's a reason to check the character, but you at least get to see the boss at Ruby by doing the hook route. So there's an option for that. I mean, you have exit if it's nothing. So I mean, there's that option, which means he'd still have to do the Fey March regardless because he's still a little. No, he actually wouldn't have to do it. He can fade the Fey March. No, never mind.
Yeah, tower key, right?
Yeah, tower key. My Lex Dixie is taking effect. I'm rotating the objectives from each runner's side.
So who do you throw that adamant armor on Sorbius' side?
Fu.
Yeah, that seems like a reasonable decision.
That's an instant. And Fu is actually, I mean, there's an option to stick it on Palom, but I just feel safer on Fu, because Fu's got both the higher will and wisdom set for the extra magic defense for taking on big bangs and meteos. Ooh, Sorb's doing the.
Well, top of tower is going to give him. Oh, it looks like we might be stealing sirens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, gonna be stealing some sirens here. Question is, how many do you steal?
10 key items. You've already got plenty of levels, like 5 maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Rydia's at 45. She does take quite a bit to get to nuke. That's the only problem here. So let's see. For Mech of the Moon, he has, I think, Cave Value, Mura, Crystal, and Masa, and White Spear, I think. So, and we know that it's the White Spear and Crystal Altar that has the value.
And it looks like we got Rat Tail from Tower Key. A very useful siren.
Hey, that would have been great earlier, but it's kind of useless now.
Yeah, and Sorbius, if he does go and check top of tower, will have very shortly all 7 objectives in sight.
Yeah.
Because he will see that Golbez, and then we know that the only other thing that's open is Fey March. So Fey March has to have the rest.
I mean, it's coming down to the wire here, and both people have the pass. So I mean, even though Mecha has to go back to the moon and come back down to actually, complete either of them, has the pass, so doesn't have to make the trek a third time.
And these fights should go pretty fast. I'm thinking specifically of that Ogo Pogo fight that Sorbius really battled valiantly through. That Mechalink is just going to laugh his way through. Yeah,
that's definitely a thing there. So Sorbius is done. yeah, the question comes to be, he's probably gonna do his grind now, get the nukes and whites right now. It comes down to, you know, do you do the top of tower or do you do the Fame Arch? I think when you're looking for strictly key items, I think you play the numbers game. I mean, I've raced with Sorbius a bunch of times. I'd like to think I know how he would run. I think he's going to go with the numbers and go down into the Fame Arch. Then probably the easier one to do with this party would be, you know, the Mylon Z, as we know what that it is, and get rewarded with the Adamant and be in a go mode at that point. Just has to do the hook route, which is the long check to do. A lot longer than doing tower key. That Mecha going in and doing K value here. Well, as we have, you know, Sorbius doing his getting his egg dinner on the table. Then we have Mecha kind of going over what Sorbius has already done here. Go ahead and give a shout out to our restreamer Xenoked, who rolled this wonderful seed. Our wonderful tracker, making sure to keep us both here in the booth straight, you know, keeping it real, Scarcer. And, you know, I believe this is you're a newer commentator here for Free Enterprise. You know, my co-commentator, it's called Aerith. You know, go follow these wonderful people.
Yeah, I've been back. I took a very long hiatus, and I'm just glad to be back on the team.
And then, of course, you know, follow our runners. You know, we may be able to, you know, to commentate them, but they're the ones putting on the real show here. We wouldn't have a show without the runners. And this kind of shows the difference in running styles. We have Mecha who's going to go a full Zerk party here, and we've got Sorbius who's going a Reflect / hybrid party.
Yeah, both really valid strats given, you know, the makeup of the tournament and also the characters that we've seen and the gear that we've seen. Really reasonable decisions either way. There's not like a wrong answer here. I think these are both very good parties.
Oh yeah, I was wrong. I mean, it all comes down to what you feel comfortable with. I know some people feel more comfortable with the Zerker strats, and then some people feel more comfortable with, you know, Reflect strats. You know, I have always, you know, told people, you know, the easiest way that I started, and what I try and tell, you know, some of the new runners is the easier way to start the Z fights is with the Zerker party. You know, when it comes to Reflect strats, it requires a little bit more knowledge and a little bit, you know, easier time with the menu, knowing what to do. It can be more technical and tricky. So generally, you just tell people, go with Zerker strats when you're starting out. And we do have our wonderful Pink Puff League that there have been some amazing people that have come out of Pink Puff League, which was not around when I started Free Enterprise. And we've had so many amazing people in this tournament and previous tournaments. I think last tournament that we ran, Blue Moon and Red Moon, we actually had some brand new runners, Pink Puffs, actually win the tournament. So be sure, you know, to check out the Free Enterprise Discord. Usually in the off tournament seasons when we have our community club startup, so that's, you know, the Pink Puff. We have some other amazing community clubs that end up happening. I know one of my personal favorites is Fair and Harry's Journey, and it's always a great community to be in.
Absolutely, yeah. It really is the community around FreeN that keeps me coming back. I am consistently learning stuff about this game. It's fun to participate in a lot of the clubs and a lot of the people that put a lot of time into, you know, into organizing the events, and it's just a lot of fun.
So we have Sorbius here going, staying at the Marionette. Not something you see too often. Love to see it. Because the Fame Arch is one of the more expensive hotels to stay at. We've got the Motel 6, which is Baron Inn. So yeah, it comes down. I think Sorbius is going to do the Mylon Z over Ruby, because Mylon Z is a lot easier. You know, they're both going to be the same strat of just nuke and white, but I think it's just going to be Mylon first because there's less HP there. It's like 3 spells. and a swing and it's gone. So
I think we're doing Ruby.
going for Ruby, gonna get the tower key. No but do you do both?
You know what? I just do both. I just do both.
Yeah, like you're down here, you just do both. I mean, yeah, you have tower key as an option. Tower key could lead into, legend, but do you want to take that chance? So I think Sorbius does both here. Just because you're down here, you don't want to take that chance of, tower key being nothing, and then have to come back down. Because that there's not very many spots left for.
Adam armor is pretty good, by the way.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, glare. Ha, yeah. Yeah. That just came right off. No problem there. I've got this great adamant armor, which acts like Teflon dispels. They just slide right off of me. Sorbius is going to get rewarded with this tower key here. And then it comes to a choice.
So the tower key, because Sorbius doesn't have the information on where Golbez is.
Yeah, it doesn't have that information. I think. Yeah, there we go.
Perfect. So this will be go mode.
Yep. And like that, it's gonna be like 3 spells and a swing, and it's gone. And then it's gonna be turn in, forge, do the tower key, and we go directly to Z. Meanwhile, Mecha's back on the airship. I think took out the Mega Sisters, and is now going either to Crystal Sword or to White Spear next.
Yeah. So either choice is an objective, and.
Yep. Well, I mean, the pigtails from Crystal, Pan is from White Spear. Okay, did not do, or maybe wipe the Mega Sisters? Yeah, definitely has the Mega Sisters, or not. Maybe getting lost on the moon. I know I did.
Yes. It's happened to the best of us.
Yeah, navigating this moon sometimes, you're under a lot of pressure. I mean, these are some very good runners that we have here, and you're sitting at 1:40, nobody's finished yet. You're sitting going, you've had a few wipes, you're kind of just like, I can't. You're just
there's also
fidgety,
the fact that
panicking, anxiety, it hits, and you just start making small things that can happen. And nothing to go into this run. It's like it happens to everybody.
They got darkness like very, very early, and Mecha is finding out like, oh, moon was hard required. I needed to be up here. So I imagine the feeling is like, oh no, I need to get whatever's up here as quickly as possible, because if my opponent gambled on being able to clear this stuff, I am way behind.
Yeah. So we have him going directly to the Crystal Altar, which is the quicker of the key items. This is going to be an instant pink tail, so it's going to be a exit and turn in.
And that will also be go mode for Mecha, because he knows he can walk to that Golbez, which I don't know if you do that or if you just do the final moon spot.
Oh, so Mecha's got the Masa altar as well to do. And it's the pan into adamant.
You're right. Yeah.
So Mecha has to do Golbez. It has a path to go mode, and we'll take that. Yeah, Crystal Sword is the pink tail, but the pan from White Spear goes into adamant. So yeah, Mecha's out after this and goes directly to Golbez as a known path to go mode. Does not have to follow any other chains. It's just boom. I know what I need to do, and that's fine. Like that's going to happen. So it's. I don't know if it's still up in the air. I think it's more favored towards Sorbius at this time, because Mecha still has to do the hook route.
Yeah, Becca has a long walk still. He's got to make it all the way through Hook Route. He's got to get through whatever is at King Queen Eblan, and then he's got to make it through Golbez. He's also got to turn in the Pigtail. It's quite a lot to do left. Sorbius is just got to turn in Adamant and Legend Sword, and then we're about to ask some questions here.
Yeah, I think Becca left the hovercraft sitting at the Adamant Grotto, so it's going to be able to turn that Pigtail in and then immediately drag the hovercraft over for the underground. So good heads up play on that. Leaving it there, knowing that I just need to turn in one more tail. So I mean, and the thing is, we don't take Zeromus for granted. It can still be a tricky fight. There can still be, like, even with the power that we have right now, there can still be a wipe, and it hurts because you got less power. We've got the Nirvana staff, which is not the staff that Boo can wield.
We did have crystal rings for sale in the shop, which is useful.
Yeah, great defense. Some extra agility. Picked up at least one. Yeah, Nirvana is so when it comes to the twins, both Palom and Porum, they each get 2 super smiths. Like Palom gets the Azure Rod and Triton Dagger. Porum gets the Nirvana and Sephirim staffs. Nirvana can be wielded by both Porum and Tella, and it's the Sephirim staff that Fu's able to wield. Each of those super smiths give plus 15 to their respective stats. So the white mages get the will stat, and the black mages get the wisdom. So yeah, we're immediately going to be wielding this Nirvana staff. Immediately gives out the 15 willpower. Focuses on BS3, which is generally the battle speed that you want to be on for reflect strats. But yeah, we're about to turn this pass in, and I'm seeing chat's being a little tired tonight.
Yeah, chat is chat feeling a little sleepy? What's going on here?
I mean, I know it's been been on average a little bit longer of an average seed, but I mean, I think chat might be right. I think it might be about nap time at this time, right? That's what these are for. Is it nap time?
I believe the question has something to do with butts and kicking. I'm coming up short.
I thought it had to do with the hat, and it's cute, and I thought it was like, is it cute? Does it have a hat on? No, the final boss Zeromus, we don't move him around. We keep him where he is. He's too powerful for our randomization. Instead, we change the sprite. So, Aerith, I'll leave it to you. What is the question?
Whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
Definitely. Do you have a favorite sprite? I always like asking that question.
I am a big fan of anything involving text boxes. Do we have silk webs, by the way? That's a question I have.
I think we do have silk webs. Generally, it comes to the reflect strats when you're on BS3. Depending on how you have your party set up, you really don't need to worry about a silk web so much. When it comes to Zerkers, that's where it comes to be needing. I haven't seen this one in forever.
There's a classic.
Sans. He's gonna try and we're gonna try to have a bad time, right? I think that's the phrase. I mean, I know I've done the evil route for Undertale. That fight was something, let's put it that way. Where comes out the nukes, and the whites only have to do half of the damage to Zeromus. Fu taking a 1600 counter nuke.
And again, just to explain that to anybody, because this game, again, all features, no bugs, spells reflected off of a Star Veil don't trigger counters the way the spells directly targeting a character would. And one of the counters that Zeromus has is because his HP total is too high for the game's memory to handle, he has a scripted counter where he refills his HP. And because it's considered a counter, if you reflect your spells, you don't hit that.
Yeah, perfectly go to game. So yeah, I think he has like 120 some odd thousand health, but with the game you can only handle back then, you know, max health is 65,000. So they decided to give him a little bit more health. Stuck in that little extra script to make sure you had to fight him just a little bit longer.
And it looks like Shadow on Mecha's side was extra rude and targeted everybody but the one character that was immune to Demolish.
Yeah. Kind of feel bad, but I mean, it's Crystal Sword Cecil, so not going to be long for this fight.
And okay, that was a nerfed Big Bang, so Sorbius is in very good shape here.
Yeah. When it comes to effective, a lot of people will do a little bit different strategy. Instead of using a Silk Web to get the first nuke counter to nerf the Big Bang, they'll actually do a direct cast nuke. Just get that little bit of extra damage out. And that's what Sorbs had done, was a direct cast nuke, I believe, with Fu, who took the counter nuke right after. But I mean, we got Rydia with the Veil up. We got these nukes and white coming out fast and quick. Question is, you know, will we see another Big Bang? Nope. There's the shake and crumble. The Sorbs has finished. GG to Sorbius. We'll see if we can get him in here for an interview. One heck of a race. Oh, and there's the ba-ding in my ears. GG, Sorbius.
GG's.
Ah, well, what a seed.
Yeah, it turns out no matter what you picked, you just kind of had to do all of it.
Yeah. So kind of take us through a little bit of the early game there. I mean, you had a starting Porum Young. How'd you feel about that with a starting close to starting Darkness?
Pretty excited about the starting Porum. You know, having early access to White Mage is great. Not so excited about the Yawn, but you know, any punch person in a storm, I guess. I don't know. Darkness was interesting. I really wanted to check that character real quick in case it was the guy TM. Turned out to be a guy.
Yeah. That was Palom, which I mean, yeah, you got Twin early on.
Yeah, Palom was great. That was very nice, especially with the Porum Hero. It's really easy to set up the wisdom. So if the Porum Twins, it's using Palom's wisdom, which is pretty strong.
So we saw you do the hair dryers, and you know, get some experience on Palom to be able to do have enough experience for Warp before doing Dwarf, and then you saw the Tella there. How'd you feel about that?
Unfortunately, way too late to think about a D machine, so he just sort of got to go to the city.
Even when you had the Rydia there from getting that early package at Twin Harp, there wasn't a thought of doing like a 6x6 for D machines to get the Rydia online?
Not by the time I had Rydia, no. If Palom had still been slingshotable, especially if Palom and Yang had both been slingshotable when I found Tella, I might have thought about it. But you know, at 35 minutes, I don't want to spend 20 minutes doing a D machine grind to do that. Especially when I saw the free fight K value already and had a pretty solid idea that I'd be able to find sirens maybe and just do those.
Well, there were sirens in the seed.
They were on the hook route because those
Yep.
only shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where they
Hook
were.
route had both Hourglass 2s and the sirens.
Okay, well, I found a guy that got me some sirens anyways. It ended up not
Yeah, so
mattering.
yeah, we saw you cleared a few spots out on the moon, and you got the Earth Crystal, and then you're going outside and you see a Fu and the guy, and you have a Crystal Sword in hand, and you decided not to take him. Were you kind of thinking of doing reflect strats, early on when you had the full mage party?
Yeah, at that point, having not seen sirens or access to them yet, I didn't have a good way to grind Cecil to levels, to do the fight anyway. And my plan at that point was to do the Sylph Trap chests to get my levels if I couldn't get Edge or Sirens. And yeah, Cecil just wasn't part of that equation.
Okay. Trying to think of anything else. Eric, you got any questions for Sorbius here?
Yeah, so I just really want to shout out that Ogopogo fight that you did. That was a heck of an aggressive play that really, really worked out for you. For a long time during the seed, you really aggressively went after moon checks and managed to make it full clear the moon when Mecha kind of looked at the party you were handed and said, like, no, this really is not going to work, and moved on to do other stuff. Can you just walk us a little bit through your thinking going into those moon checks, knowing I don't know how much power I have, but I'm here, I might as well try it.
Yeah, I mean, I had Leviathan on ready from Dwarf Castle, and Palom had Quake, and I had a little bit of gear and some J items, and the thought was, I'd already seen most of the bosses that would just stop, my mostly spell damage party, except for Ogopogo and or CPU would both have been difficult, depending on where they are. Yeah, I felt pretty confident whatever I found, I'd be able to just, destroy it with spells and move on. And that ended up being the case for most of it. Ogo was, that was a fight. Buy illusions, kids. They save lives.
Yeah, we saw you casting those illusions and Cure 3s, helped out a lot in that fight. And you just put like a clinic on that fight. It was a very well executed fight.
Thank you.
So, this being, the end of week 8, how do you feel about this flag set and the tournament in general, and how you did?
I wish I'd won a few more matches, but I think we can all say that. Tournament was fun. The team part of it was excellent. Not the biggest fan of the Moonveil Mixer flag set. Kind of been there, done that for tournament stuff. Potion Party I thought was an amazing idea and well executed. And I love that one.
I don't have anything else. Any other final thoughts on the seed there, Sorbius?
No, buy Illusions, buy Cure 3s. Seriously, just buy them. They're good. And thank you all for putting this on. And have a good night, everyone.
All right.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's once again. And that was Sorbius, our winner of today's race for Team No Springs. And we have rocks falling on Mecha side. Kane dodging the rocks. And will we get enough damage out there? And we do.
Just enough. Wow.
Nail biter at the end. Like, we take one more meteor, and yeah, we feel real bad. And we are joined in the booth with Mecha. GG's Mecha.
GG.
GG's.
Yeah.
Kind of walk us through the early game a little bit. I mean, you started off with a Porum and a Yang and a Starting Darkness. How'd you feel about that?
Not great. But then finding Palom on the moon, I was like, as you note, I didn't loot. Like, that was it. We were done. Like, right, we just started beating stuff. Because, right, like, you think about the early game, a lot of times people in the early game are looking for attack items, looking for ways to claw themselves into, or like taking care of bosses, being able to take ordeals, being able to take the hero fight. Twin solves everything but the hero fight. And so it's just like we didn't need anything. Mages don't actually need equipment for the overworld by and large. Right? You get a level on Palom and he can kill anything, basically.
Let's talk about that early. I mean, let's see. The first couple fights you had to take were split EXP fights for that.
That was not great. No, that I did not love that. That's true. But I mean, again, like get the level, you get the ice too, and like twin, like you have twin and one of the twos, and like you can kill anything, right? Barring Valvelus showing up or something, right? And we knew where Val was because she gave us the darkness crystal.
Yeah. I mean, you made some early spicy plays. Like you did a very early Albon, and doing the Mad Ogre just in there and get some extra levels to really kind of
well,
got that party early
you
on.
got the Rune Axe. It was just like Rune Axe with Hourglass 3 in inventory was just like, yeah, okay, like let's dig for Mad Ogre's chest, see what's in there, right? If that was an adamant, like I think I might well have, that would have been a huge advantage to carry. Instead, it was just one of 3 crystal swords.
Yeah, lots of crystal swords, and
Yeah, there were a few.
Yeah. So I mean, that's like that's one place that like I 1 out of 3, right? Like of that T8 being an adamant, right? Like changes a lot of the seed going down, right? If that had hit. But still, right, I mean, I don't feel bad about that. I don't feel bad about going back to Earth on the Earth Crystal because we had such huge character hits left. Right, Earth Crystal happened to be one of the important items on the moon. There were 3 important items on the moon. Pan, Earth, and Pinktail.
Yeah,
and so like the odds are on there being 2 or 3 items on the moon generally, and that doesn't mean they're all important. So hitting one that would advance me significantly, I felt was enough for me having no levels. Trying to grind off of the behemoths in a chest was a little cute, but in some ways I kind of felt like I wanted to just play very aggressively here, which is kind of the style I enjoy, since since this is the point at which I've knocked off the most rust, where I'm the most capable. I kind of felt like I wanted to play as aggressively as I would in my most practiced times, and I feel pretty good about that in general.
Yeah, we saw you take on the behemoth. It didn't fare too well the first time. The second time you came back with the blinks and went through it without an issue.
Yeah,
and we mentioned that like with the behemoths, you really want to get the blinks off before you start hitting on the behemoths, because those counters just hit hard.
Those counters hit hard, and the speed that Kane was acting compared to the rest of the party just wasn't good for blink or lifestyle keeping people up. So plus we didn't have a lot of enough HP for anybody to really take anything. Right? So we had no slack, and so that was part of taking the double white mage kind of plan with the Tella, right? Like also Tella bailing me out on needing warp, which is nice.
That was great. We had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
Were you pretty happy when Tella came there and you're like, oh, I felt warp?
I mean, I wanted Cecil or Fusa, yeah, but I'll take Tella. Right. I mean, again, right, like the worst case is that it's right, like the most likely case is that it's not particularly relevant. In this case, it was pass, which is somewhat relevant given that our objectives required us to come back from the moon to resolve them. So I'm pretty happy on that hit on the overall. But I was really I was trying to dig for the hits of power people, especially when we had the crystal sword for Cecil, right? Because it's, this game has a snowball effect oftentimes, and that, you want to get that power early. And I mean, taking edge is probably in the wrong, but also I named it after my teammates, so I kind of wanted to take the edge anyway. And I knew where Drain Spears were, so I knew I could buy a stack of those.
You also had checked a lot of gated shops and had seen no good way of grinding, so seeing Edge is saying, well, at least I can steal sirens if I need to do that.
Yeah, I mean, but that happened late enough. Once we had gotten the hook, right, like we found the sirens and the hourglasses in the same shop. right? So, but yeah, I mean, it was, well, ultimately, right? Like it's, um, but yeah, we didn't get the hook until just after we got an edge. So yeah, I mean, I mean, like I said, I knew where the drain spheres were. They were in Baron, right? Like I'd seen them on the way in, so it was just like great, right? Like Edge is going to be fine, right? Like he's good at throw things, and we're not going to have great swords for him. That's fine, right? So yeah, I mean, I could have played my strategy better, certainly, but on the overall, I generally like kind of what I tried to do. And it was a bit aggressive. It could have gone far worse. It could have gone far better. And this time it just needed it. I needed to play a little better, and it needed to go a little better, I think, for me to have won this one, and that's fine.
I mean that's kind of, you know, as the trade-off. You play aggressive. It can either be really good or it can hurt you a bit.
Not work. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that kind of was where my mind was at. Ultimately, was just like, you know, I love playing aggressively, right? Like playing the odds aggressively and stuff like that. And so, like I was watching a LTDP race today, and you saw the players abandoning checks, right? Like all the time, right? Like just like it's just one check, it's one, right? Like, and right, like it was like, you know, that's how I want to play this randomizer, right? But that's not how we generally do play it, right? Like it's very rare for us to abandon key item checks by and large, but I always like to press on that a little, because technically it's correct sometimes.
Eric, do you got any questions for Mecha?
So, you know, this being the final week, same question for Sorbius. How do you feel about this flag set and the tournament in general, and how you did?
So since this is the last week, we can pull back the veil a little bit. Our strategy for our weeks was to set it up so that we would come into this week 6-1 and probably lose. Right, like because we knew what our matchups were those first 3 weeks, and we started 3-1. But when Asak decided to get one over on Rybon in week 6, that basically kind of sent that plan sideways, right? Putting us in the position where, right, like we had to sit Rybon last week, right, like against a tough matchup, right? And so like, I think Rybon was excellent in contributing to the strategizing, right? Like together, I think we put together a good kind of like team level strategy in terms of how we were going to play the tournament. And if week 6 had gone as planned, like we could have been in the brackets, and it just didn't fall out that way. So like I think that was interesting. That's an interesting thing that we don't necessarily get to do a lot in Free Enterprise, that kind of sort of planning around kind of matchups coming. So I liked that aspect of it a lot. I mean, I like the team component of it a lot. I think the flag sets were well designed and interesting. And I don't think they were like the last tournament we did. I absolutely loved the flag set for how it kind of technically played with things. And then Potion Party, I really liked, and I felt I learned very well, I think, what to do, to the point where the way I won a later week was the inverse of how I lost the previous week, the first week, right? And so like I learned the angles of that kind of very non-traditional format very quickly, so I like that. So yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of good things here. I know that this was, trying to, do a lot of different things with the flag sets, with the team format and everything. And I feel like it did a lot of things I enjoy. So yeah, I'm pretty up on this tournament, on the overall, on what it was trying to do and how its successes.
don't have anything else.
Yeah, GG's again, Mecha.
Yep. Thank you all for the rebroadcast. Thank everybody for watching. Hopefully it was entertaining. We finished inside of each other's delay periods, so it wasn't that far. It wasn't that bad. Far a loss. But yeah, I liked my Zeromus kill too, just because it was the situation where it was like you just didn't need to like keep people up. Like you just needed to lay down the power as you could. It's just like, it's the last HP that matters. Right. Thanks for the rebroadcast. Thanks everybody. I think we're planning on trying to do something in the title rounds after the break. So hopefully, I don't know what those are exactly about, but you'll see us probably in 2 weeks doing those. But still plenty more content this week. It's only Wednesday. All right. Later.
Have a good one. All right, Eras. Well, it's time for us to sign off here, but that does not mean it is the end of Free Enterprise right now. Once again, watch out for both our runner Sorbius and Mechalink for that heck of a show. Reach Gamer Cat, our Trackers Cursor. So it's not done yet for Free Enterprise. Do you know what we're doing?
We are heading over to Free Enterprise 2. There is an ongoing race between Flamarionite and Ceradan. And just a reminder to everybody in chat not to spoil this race when you join the chat over there.
We've got newspapers ready. They hurt. I've got newspapered a few times. So.
Stella does not mess around with those bonds. You do not want the bond.
Nope. Have a good one, everybody, and we'll send you on over to Free Enterprise 2.